What did sex ed definitely not prepare you for? Story 1. The wide variety of breasts and not everyone looks the same. Story 2. For some reason, nobody ever told me runs out of you after the deed. For some reason, I forgot how gravity worked and just thought it stayed up there. I blame movie. It seems like all those girls were just able to pull their pants on, go about their day. Queefing is another thing I had to learn about on my own. Story 3. I wasn't allowed to participate. Literally the only kid in my grade who had parents that refused to let me sit through the class. I had to sit in the library by myself. So stupid. Story 4. You should pee after. Story 5. How damn messy your sheets are going to get. Sweat, etc. is a wet business, and for God's sake, buy a mattress protector. Story 6. Basically anything surrounding birth control. We learned about the effectiveness, not any of the side effects or how things like IUDs are placed. I had to learn from TikTok, of all places, how horrifying IUD insertion is. I've been on Nexplanon for a little while now, with pretty much no side effects so far, and love it. Got super lucky. Story 7. Having. I didn't realize I needed to relax my pelvic muscles in order for my partner to have any hope in hell of getting inside me. Most people assumes it just slips in. Nope. It also didn't teach me how to. I figured that out on my own. Pro tip. Women using nerve bundles on the outside of their body. Either the or the small bundle that is located between their opening and their ands. Grinding is how we for the most part, not thrusting. Also, if you want to with a partner, you have to get out of your own head and let yourself go. Don't think, just feel, and don't be embarrassed about whether or not you look weird or are making too much noise. Just do what feels good. Enjoy yourself. Story 8. The sheer number of people who are getting reinfected with STDs. The words risky behavior have meaning. Story 9. Anything. I grew up in the mid-late 60s. We learned nothing about course, not what goes where. We learned very little about our periods except that it's normal, and no one, especially boys, should ever find out we have one. We learned nothing about how pregnancy occurs. We learned that nice girls don't do this big mysterious thing, but not how to say no and be taken seriously. We learned nothing about birth control, not even that it exists. Pretty much they spent more time making us ashamed of our bodies and its functions than teaching us how it actually does function. I learned more from reading The Godfather on the sly. Later, I babysat for a single mom who kept a copy of The Joy of lying around. After that, it was trial and error. Friends, before we continue our video, I want to remind you of the importance of subscribing to our channel. We are also waiting for your comments and likes. Thank you. Let's move on to the video. Story 10. That making a girl was priority 1 before you get yours. Story 11. Nobody ever tells you that condoms have different sizes. That's a serious problem when condoms are the only thing protecting you from an unexpected baby, or STD. Story 12. How incredible were. Like, damn. They really glossed over. Would have been great to know that I wasn't going to pee or die if I got over that hump. Story 13. The female exists. Would be nice if they even just once said that. No guys ever tried because I don't think they knew it existed either. Also, exists. Also, I learned in extreme detail that could get me pregnant. Like, it's going to drip and slip up inside. Don't get me wrong, it's possible. But the fact our entire class one day was about this exact thing happening seemed more like his fetish than reality. He also talked about how his wife and him didn't use protection because it was against their religion, so they studied fertility tracking, and that's how his son, who was in our class, happened. Story 14. Maybe you should make sure you don't have a latex allergy before trying to have sex with a condom for the first time. Apparently, it is more common than you would think, and I had to learn the hard way. Story 15. My first pregnancy is my water broke at 20 weeks. No one tells you how to handle a pregnancy that might you or that you have to terminate. Hardest decisions of my life. But it saved my life. I actually almost died. Story 16. Smells. Took me a while to realize all has smells, but it shouldn't be unpleasant or repulse you. At first, I was grossed out and thought my high school GF was unhygienic. On the flip side, I feel like women should be better educated on what it's supposed to smell like. It's only been 2 times where I encountered a smell that absolutely repulsed me. I was kind and suggested maybe go see a doctor, or I ask if there's something going on down there. Both times I get the response, no, it's normal, all has a smell. Story 17. How different people's bodies are. I thought I was weird when I was a teen. I think in ed class there should also be a slide of many different pictures of different naked bodies, not drawings, naked people, adults. It should be taught how nudity is not inherently and for teens to be mature about it. Breasts can be big and small. If they're big, they won't float. They can be round, to the sides, pointy, asymmetrical, in a V or U shape, have dark or light aureolas, big ones and small ones, inverted nipples. They can be high on the chest or very low. Has foreskin naturally. This lesson should be taught especially in the US because apparently most people are cut, and having foreskin is considered different. And it should be taught that removing it when your kid is just born shouldn't be that normalized. Foreskin exists to protect the head because it's sensitive. So if you don't have that problem where you can't see the head because the foreskin can't separate, then there's no reason to cut your kid's body before they can even think. It should be taught how has different sizes, colors, and shapes, and how it's normal. People shouldn't associate with having a lot of and neither that if you have on you get loose. That's not how it works. Also, teach how people have body hair. The same way I don't understand the expectation of men not having foreskin, which is the norm, you're born with it. I don't understand the expectation of people being hairless, mostly for women. Hair grows in everybody. The expectation should be of having hair, even a bit like, oh, okay, they shaved 2 days ago. And if they're hairless, that's a cool different thing. I've had friends saying they shaved super fast because they were going to meet their boyfriends unexpectedly, and the next day they were all red and itchy. Story 18. That aren't always condom friendly. How to communicate with my partner and that it's normal. That isn't supposed to continually hurt her. She had deformation, diagnosed at 27. That if you can't talk about it, then you're not ready to have it. That it's okay to ask for guidance. Story 19. How to put in a tampon. I was trying to use them by just putting them up to the entrance and pressing the plunger. Trying to force cotton up a semi-dry hole is very painful. Once I looked at the instructions very thoroughly, I finally saw a diagram and thought, oh, the plastic is already inside her, and tried it that way. The first tampon I somewhat successfully got inside myself was only halfway stuck in and hurt to pull out. But boy, was I happy. I've never been a pad girl. No shame to those who are. I personally believe that's better for you. This is a good note to end on. Please write your stories in the comments. I'll be happy to add them to future videos. Also, you can rate our other videos. We would be very grateful. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.